Hey guys, Mario here from MTG Diagnosis, Doctor by Day, Magic the Gatherer by Night, and today I'm going to open four Modern Horizons play boosters that I won at my local game store, Vanguard Skills in Hyannis. Friday Night Magic. Come out and play Friday nights. They're in Hyannis, Massachusetts. If you're visiting Cape Cod, very friendly. Not very competitive. I mean, it's competitive, but not, it's not cutthroat or anything like that. Good times, lots of camaraderie, lots of friendly faces, and a lot of regulars now. So, and if you're new, come on in and stop by. We always like to introduce friendly faces to new people. So, my email, my Discord, my Twitter. Really not much going on Discord. Twitter, not really much going on there. Email, that's where you can reach me out if I have giveaways. That's how you can reach me. So, all right, let's get started. I won these packs last night playing limited draft at the game store, and was playing white-green tokens. It's my favorite probably draft deck. Petrifying Meddler, 4 and a blue for a 4/5 devoid, meaning it doesn't have any color, meaning it's colorless. When you cast a spell, tap up to one target creature and put a stun counter on it. Reach. It's a good common. Temperamental Oozewag, one of the cards I was playing last night. It's 4/4/4/4. Modified creatures you control have trample, and 2 and a green for adapt. So good to have one in your deck. I wouldn't have more than one if you're playing limited. Dream Drinker Vampire, this was good against me. 2 for a 2/1 lifelink, adapt 1. If you put one or more candlers on it, it gains menace until end of turn. So it's a good lifelinker. 2 for a 2/1 lifelink. Lots of value there. Nyxborn Unicorn, don't sleep on this card. It's 2 for a 2/2, bestow for 4, meaning you can put it as an enchantment on another creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has mentor. This guy also has mentor, so mentor, you give a creature with lower power a 1/1 counter. So it's a great enchantment. If they kill the creature, this becomes a creature. Galvanic Discharge, one of the better red removal spells from this set, so probably one of the better. So it's pretty much a lightning bolt. Use 3, and you could pay any amount of energy to deal that much damage to a permanent. I'm sorry, a creature or planeswalker, not a permanent. A creature or planeswalker. You can't attack your opponent with that, so it's not a lightning bolt. Cyclops Superconductor, 1 blue-red 2/2 prowess, meaning it gets +1/+1 every time you cast a non-creature spell until end of turn. Energy, when it enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. When it dies, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So I haven't played this guy at all. Don't know if he's any good. Reiterating Bolt, 1 in a red and replicate costs 3 energy. Deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Replicate means when you cast this spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. You may choose new targets for the copies. So great in an energy deck. It's a sorcery, which is pretty slow, but you could do multiple damage. 1 card to do multiple energy damage based on energy. Izzet Generatorum, red and a blue, so this is another uncommon. If you would get 1 or more energy, you get that many +1 energy instead. Tap, draw a card, activate only if you paid or lost 4 more energy this turn. It's a red-blue energy. There's another archetype in this set. Hydra Trainer, this is a pretty good card when it goes off. 2 for a 1/1, adapt 2 for 2 and a green. Adapt 2 means you pay that cost, and you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, only if it has no counters on it. You may exert Hydra Trainer as it attacks. When you do, target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of counters on permanents you control. So it's a good card late game if you have green-white counters. Archetype. Pinnacle Monk, 5 for a 2/2 prowess. When it enters the battlefield, return target instant sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And on the back side, it's a land that you may pay 3 life to enter untapped. Otherwise, it enters tapped. So these creature or spell on one side, land on the other side. I think they're actually going to be interesting because the blue one, Fall into Stupor or whatever, that's actually pretty good card. So Meltdown, X in a red, destroy each artifact with mana value X or less. It's a sorcery, which is a little slow. Oh, all right, our first rare, Spymaster's Vault. And this is the borderless version. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp. Tap, add a black. Black, tap, target creature you control connives X, where X is the number of creatures that died this turn. And basically, connive is where you look at the top card, you may put it in your graveyard, and then you put a +1/+1 counter. And you could do that X amount of times. So connive 1 means you do that once. Connive 2, you do that twice. It's the number of creatures that died this turn. Meteoric Mace is our foil. It's 4 red. Equipped creature gets +4/+0 and has trample. Equipped 4 and it has cascade, meaning when you cast this spell, you look at the top card of your turn over the top card of your library until you find a spell that's a non-land spell that's less than that amount of casting cost, and then you can pay it without paying its. You can play it without paying its mana cost, and then you put the rest in the card you flipped over in the bottom of your library in random order. Full Art Forest looks nice, and ooh, it is a foil Full Art Forest. Beautiful. All right, next pack here. Oh, a signed art card. Who is this? This is Kalia of the Vast. Signed art card. Nice. Kami of the Jealous Thirst. 3 for a 1/3 Death Touch. Pretty good Death Touch creature. 4 in a black. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This ability costs 4 in a black less to activate if you've drawn 3 or more cards this turn. Activate only once each turn. So this is a good combo with blue-black archetype in this set where you try to draw 3 cards per turn. I lost to that deck once a couple weeks ago. It was really strong. Airy Auxiliary. This is a good white card. 4 for a 3/3 flying. When it enters the battlefield, you support 2, meaning 2 other. You could put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 other creatures. Very good card. Very good common. White-green counters. Molten Gatekeeper, 2 and a red. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Unearth, 1 red. So unearth is when for 1 red, you can pay 1 red and return this to the graveyard. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. It's not that good. Tune the Narrative. This is great for blue-white energy. Blue instant, draw a card, you get 2 energy. So energy is an extra resource, just like life is. Basking Broodscale, 1 in a red. It's an Eldrazi Lizard, devoid, adapt 1. Put a 1/1 counter. Whenever you put a 1/1 counter on Basking Broodscale, you may create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token with sacrifice this creature, add colorless. It's a 2/2. Sneaky Snacker. If you're gonna play blue-black draw, this is a powerhouse in that deck. It's a 2/1 flying for 2, or for a black and a blue, and when you draw your 3rd card in a turn, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So this is the new set of lands where you tap for a colorless mana, or you can sacrifice it, search for forest, island, or mountain, and put it into the battlefield tapped, or you can cycle it for forest, green, blue, red. Our first uncommon from this pack, Frogmire Enforcer, 7 for a 4/4. Affinity for artifacts, meaning you can, it costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control, and then is for 4/4, or you can prototype it for 3 and a red for 2/2. So it's red, black artifacts matter. Horrid Shadow Spinner. It's a 1 blue, black, 2/3 lifelink. When it attacks, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard that many cards. So I haven't really played with this that much because it's basically just drawing and milling. I mean, it's good for that deck, the blue-black archetype, where you're trying to draw 3 cards per turn. Even though you're discarding 2, you're drawing 2 and discarding 2 based on its power. You're still drawing 3 that turn because you're the one that you automatically draw every turn. That heralds the end. 1 and a colorless for a 2/2. Colorless spells you cast with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less to cast. Other colorless creatures you control get +1/+1. So that is great with anything that makes 0/1 Eldrazi spawns. Fel the Profane. This is a black instant. It's 4 to destroy target creature or planeswalker. But on the backside, it's a common card right now, or it's a popular card right now. But because on the backside, it's a land that you can pay 3 life and it enters battlefield untapped. If you don't pay 3 life, it enters tapped. So it's land on one side and a good removal spell on the front. So Priest of Titania, 1 and a green for a 1/1. Tap, add green for each elf on your battlefield. Titania rewards all who honor the forest by making them a living part of it. Rebecca, I don't know how to pronounce that, Guy. She's the artist. Jonathan, friend of ours who really likes her artwork. So she's got it's a really whimsical type of artwork. So it's really nice. Our rare is Fanatic of Rodness. Actually, this is a pretty good ramp creature. 1 and a green for a 1/4, so it's hard to kill. Can't lightning bolt it. Tap to add a green. Ferocious. Tap, add 4 green. Activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, and it has Eternalize 2 and 2 green. Exile this card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie snake druid with no mana cost. So Eternalize only as a sorcery. So I like that guy. And then Mandibular Kite is our foil, and it's 1 white to make a living weapon. So you make a 0/0 black germ, and you put this on it, and it's a 1/1 has flying, or you can equip this to something else and give something else 1/1 +1/+1 and flying for 3 and a white. Good for white weenies, white blue actually, archetype. All right, pack number 3. Got Energy Spirit Token. There we go. I needed that. I'm looking for that Spirit Token. Nightshade Dryad is really good. It's 1 and a 2 for 2 for Death Touch. Tap, add a colorless, or tap, add 1 mana of any color. So I think this is one of the best mana dorks in the game. It's got Death Touch too, so later on in the game it can act as like a defender. Refurbished Familiar, 3 and a black, affinity for artifacts for a 2/1 flying. Affinity means you can however many artifacts you control, that's how many colorless mana less it costs. So theoretically, if you have 3 artifacts, you only have to tap 1 black to cast this. Flying, when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. It's nice. I like this for black-red artifacts archetype. Rosecott Knights, 5 for a 3/4 vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact or enchantment card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And if you didn't put a card into your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So most of the times you're going to be putting a +1/+1 counter on it because 4 or 5 vigilance in limit is pretty good. hard to interact with and hard to deal with. And if you do find an enchantment that's good, a really good enchantment or a really good artifact, then it's a bonus. Void Pouncer, 1 and a red for a 3/1 Devoid, kicker 2 and a colorless. If it was kicked, it enters the battlefield 2+1/+1 counters and a trample counter on it, and with haste. So 2 for a 3/1, great. Lots of good power. You can start attacking your opponent early if they're slow, if they have a slow deck. Cast it later. You put it's a 5/3 with trample and haste. So Petrifying Meddler again. Sheltering Landscape, a different one of these lands, common lands. Snapping Voidcraw. So this is another Eldrazi. 1 green blue for a 1/3 Devoid, meaning it has no color. Tap, add 2 colorless, helps you cast some bigger Eldrazi. And 3 in a colorless. Tap, draw a card. So it helps with draw. So it's actually and it's 1/3, so it's can't be it's harder to kill. Territory Kohler, this is a pretty good Eldrazi. 4 and a green for 7/5 Devoid Reach, and then it has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into the graveyard. So you may put it into your graveyard. So if you play a land, look at the top card. If it's a creature, you can reveal it and put it into your hand. If it's not a creature, you could put it back on top of your graveyard, on top of your library, or put it into your graveyard. Really good. Brain Surge, draw 4 cards and put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order for 3. So like this is good for that black-blue archetype where you're drawing cards. This is probably one of the best cards in this set for limited. I've lost to this plenty of times. 5 for a 5/5 Devoid. When you cast this spell and whenever Titan's Vanguard attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each colorless creature you control, and it has trample. So if you open up a pack during draft and you see this, take it and then play red, green Eldrazi, and you can splash blue. Okay? Red, green Eldrazi, you can splash blue Eldrazi if you're not getting enough red, green. Sundering Eruption, this is one of those lands where it can pay 3 to come into play untapped, or comes into play tapped, or it's a 2 and a red. Destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. That last sentence has killed me. So it's a great spell if late in game you want to get through and the opponent doesn't have any flying creatures. Meteoric Mace again. Shifting Woodlands. Okay, so we got a rare land here. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. Tap, add or green. Delirium. 2 green. It becomes a copy of target permanent card in your graveyard until end of turn. Activate only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. I've won with this. I was playing green-white, and I had Philia the dog in my graveyard, and I copied it with this. Since this land did not have Summoning Sickness, I attacked the same turn. I blinked the opponent's creature, his 1 blocker, and I killed him. He was only down to 2 life. So it's a good. I think it's being underutilized right now. You might want to pick some up, especially if you're playing Modern or especially Black-Green Dredge. So I think it's going to be good in Standard too. No, I'm sorry. Can't play these cards in Standard. So Modern. And Reiterating Bolt. 1 in a red for, yeah, so we already saw this one before. So alright, last pack. Let's see what we get. Can we get an Ulamog, Kozilek, what's the other one? Emrakul. Those are all the Eldrazi's we're looking for. Ooh, who's that? This is Flare of Duplication by Isis? Alright. Oh, that's our foil card. Rosecott Knight again. Void Pouncer again. Electrozoa, 2 and a blue for a 3/1 flash flying. Flash means you can cast it at instant speed. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, tap Electrozoa unless you pay 1 energy. So it's 3 for a 3/1 flash flying. Probably more of a blocker than anything. You get 2 energy, you block something, you kill something, you get 2 energy, so more for an energy. Temperamental Oozewag again. Dream Drink Vampire again. Deceptive Landscape. Sheltering Landscape. Propagator Drone, 1 and a green for an Eldrazi Devoid 2/2. Creature tokens you control have Evolve. Evolve is whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it has greater power or toughness than this token, put a +1/+1 counter on this token. So it's great with Eldrazi tokens. 3 and a green, create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token. Sacrifice this creature, add colorless. It that heralds in the end, another Eldrazi. Basically gives other Eldrazi +1/+1. Horrid Shadow Spinner again. Decree of Justice. I haven't played with this much. It's very high to cast. I mean, anything that's got XX, double X's. I mean, so you gotta pay 4 plus XX. So 4, 5, 6. You tap 6 mana, you get 1/4/4 white angel creature token with flying. If you tap 8 mana, you get 2. I mean, it's still a lot of mana. And then cycling for 2 and a white. When you cycle it, you may pay X. If you do, create X/1 white soldier creature tokens. All right, we got a full art Polluted Delta. It's our fetch land, so we get a fetch land. Oh, we got 2 of them. Ooh, we got a borderless Polluted Delta and a retro Polluted Delta in the Waterlog Teachings. Nice. So we got 2 fetch lands in 1 pack. One's retro, one's borderless. And Polluted Delta, I would say, is probably one of the more pricey ones, one of the better ones. So tap, pay 1 life. In case you don't know what a fetch land is, tap, pay 1 life, sacrifice it, search your library for an island or swamp card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So this can actually fetch out your dual lands. So since like your Volcanic Island, your oh, what's the other one? Volcanic Island. There's a bunch of them. Badlands counts as a swamp and a mountain. Polluted Volcanic Island counts as an island and a mountain. The blue-black one. I forget what it's called, but anyway. So I'm happy with those packs. So these are our rares, and we got a full art foil land. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Modern Horizons 3. Let me know if you played any limited or draft. If you like draft, I'll keep talking about different techniques and ways to help you win. So let me know. And then, like I said, Friday Night Magic, we play at Vanguard Skills in Hyannis, Massachusetts. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Talk to you guys next time.